We are going to see the experiment of Swinburne's test. The Swinburne's test is also known as no load test. Why? Because we are not going to applying any load. So simply we are assuming the loads. For some H load, the current is going to be drawn this much. Like that, in this manner we are going to assuming and we are doing this experiment. So coming to the experiment aim, the aim is to conduct Swinburne's test on decision motor and to estimate the efficiency of the machine working as motor as well as generator. For motor as well as generator, for both the experiments we are doing the Swinburne's test on the same machine. So coming to the nameplate details, so power rating required for motor or generator is 2.2 kilowatt, whereas voltage rating is 220 volts for motor and generator. Current rating is same 10 amperes for both motor and generator. Speed is 1500 rpm. This one also same. So type is DC shunt. So coming to the apparatus required. So ammeter, we required a ammeter. So in the range of 0 to 10 amperes and type is MC. Voltmeter and its range is 0 to 250 volts. One 3-point starter. Rheostat operating 360 ohm by 1.8 amperes. So voltmeter 0 to 30 volts, 1 ammeter. Voltmeter, ammeter is 0 to 10 amperes. Rheostat is 145 ohm by 2.8 amperes and ammeter 0 to 2 amperes. These are the apparatus required. Now we are going to the circuit diagram. This is the circuit diagram of a Swinburne's test. So first plus and minus are the DC supply terminals. This is 220 volt DC supply. This 220 volt DC supply was given to DPST switch. DPST means double pole single through. From double pole single through to the connection connected to fuses. Fuses are ratings of 10 amperes. Next we have to take two wires from fuses and one is connected to voltmeter plus, another one to voltmeter ammeter plus. So ammeter minus, that is 10 amperes, is connected to 3-point starter L. So F or Z is nothing but field of the 3-point starter. From here to take one conductor or one wire and connect to a 300 ohm divided by 1.2 amperes rheostat. So this is fixed end, this is variable end. Wherever arrow mark is there, that is a variable end. From variable end to take one wire and connect that one to ammeter plus, and 2 to connect to field winding Z. Field winding ZZ is connected to armature AA as well as voltmeter 300 to negative terminal. So only connection left here is 3-point starter armature has to be connected to motor armature. So we had started with plus and we are ending with minus, so that's why the circuit is a closed one. Now coming to the procedure. So in procedure, what are the steps we have to follow means connections are made as per the circuit diagram. That one we have to do first. Next one, by keeping rheostat at its minimum position, double pole single through switch is closed. The motor is started by using a 3-point starter and the speed is brought to its rated value, that is 1500 rpm. The readings of voltmeter, ammeter and speed are to be noted down very carefully. The rheostat is bring to its initial position and DPST is opened. So this is the procedure we have to follow. So now coming to the connections point of view, these connections was already made it. So once look over it. So this is plus and this is minus. From plus I am taking and connecting it to voltmeter plus. From voltmeter plus to ammeter plus. Ammeter 10 to 3-point starter L. Armature 3-point starter armature to motor armature. Net field Z to rheostat fixed end and varying end to field current plus and 1 to field winding Z, and ZZ is to be connected to AA as well as voltmeter 300 and 300 to minus. So here also I had started with plus and ending with minus, then only the circuit will be closed one. So this is a 3-point starter and this is DPST switch. So now we are performing this experiment. First I am closing the DPST switch. So this rheostat is in minimum position. Now by using this 3-point starter I am going to switch on a machine. So slowly we have to bring the 3-point starter position to its final value position. Now I had set to its maximum position. Now I had got this tachometer for measuring the speed purpose. So the speed is 1388, 1390. So I have to set this one to 1500 RPM. I had set to some X value. Now I am measuring the speed. Speed is 1498 or 1506. Okay, it is nearly 1500. Now I have to note down the values. Voltage is 113 and I am connected for 300. 113 into 2, that is the voltage I have to note down. Coming to the current, so scale is for 10, I had connected for 10, no need to multiply. 2.1 ampere, that is the line current. Now coming to the field current, I had connected for 1, scale is also for 1, no need to get any multiplication. 0.64 is the field current. So now I have to note down in the tabular column. So this is the tabular column of the generator. So voltage values here we have to take down, line current here we have to note down, and field current here we have to take down. Here line voltage and field current will be constant over the all readings. These readings will be constant. This line current we are assuming starting value we get, for example 2, we have to increase and we have to go to its rated value, that is 11.6 is maximum value. So I had gone through 11.6 maximum kabatti 11 daka values vesukundam. So this is for generator. Same values will be copied for motor also. For motor also the same values we are going to take down. So now we are going for calculation part. So after assuming these values, here line current values are assumed values and voltage VL and IF values are the same values we are copying for different readings. So armature current formula is IA equal to IL plus IF. That means IA equal to IL plus IF. If you add these both values, we are going to get IA value. So in the same manner we are going to calculate these values. Next, armature copper losses formula is IA square RA. So 2.76 whole square into RA value. So RA is 1.6. So if you calculate it, you are going to get these values. Next, constant losses is WC. So first one we are taking that one as. So next part is constant losses, that is WC equal to VLIL minus II square RA. If you substitute in this formula you are going to get, so first reading, so the same reading should be put for all remaining readings. Next further don't go for this formula. So whatever the value we had got for first reading, so put the same value for remaining readings. So this is the thing we have to do it. Next one is total losses is equal to copper losses plus constant losses. This is copper losses, this is constant losses. If you added, you are going to get this column values. Next, output equal to VL into IL. So this is output value. So if you substitute VL into IL multiplied, you are going to get these values. Next, input power formula is output plus total losses. This is output, this is total losses. If you added both, you are going to get these values. So now finally efficiency. The formula is output by input into 100. Output is this one, input is this one. Those values divided and you have to multiply with 100. You are going to get this efficiency values. So this is for generator. Now I am explaining for motor. For these 3 column readings we already taken. So now formula for generator and motor will be different. Why? Because generator is a device which converts mechanical energy to electrical energy and motor is a device which converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. So that's why formulas are going to be varied. So IA equal to IL minus ISH. So IF is nothing but ISH for motor. So IL minus ISH, you are going to get these readings. Armature copper losses is IA square RA. this whole square into RA. If you had multiplied with RA, you are going to get this column readings. Constant losses WC equal to VL IL minus IA square RA. Same formula which we had used for generator. Same formula here also we are going to use. Here also whatever the first reading you had got, so you have to put the same value for all remaining readings. So next one is total losses, WC plus copper losses. WC means constant losses. If you substitute in this formula, you are going to fill these column readings. Next one is input power, VL into IL. So if you multiplied VL with IL, you are going to get input power. Output power is this one. So output power formula is output plus total losses. If you had added with input plus total loss, one second. Output power formula is input minus total losses. So this is input and this is total losses. If you had subtracted total losses with input, you are going to get these readings. So next one is efficiency, output by input into 100. So here also we are going to get these values, and this value should not exceed more than 100. Why? Because 100 is maximum value. We should not get more than 100. So now I am going for model graph. So this is the graph, one second. So this is the model graph. In the y-axis I am going to take efficiency, and x-axis I am going to take for output. This is the efficiency of motor, and this is the efficiency of the generator. This is the model graph, and this is the exact graph which I had obtained for my values. So in each box I had taken 10 divisions, 10, 20, 30. So x-axis is 200 watts, output units is watts, and y-axis percentage, 10%. So this is the graph I had obtained for efficiency of generator, and this is the graph I had obtained for efficiency of motor.